Welcome everyone to the next episode of Sniper Talk here at the Sniper Central headquarters in beautiful Victor, Montana. Now, being in Victor, Montana, yes, we get to experience snow. And so what I wanted to take is just a few minutes here to explain some of the tips and tricks that we've learned through the years of operating in a snow environment or in wintertime conditions. And so we're going to talk just a few of the different things that we've come up with over time. What I have displayed here is several different things in terms of operating as a sniper or as a long-range shooter in cold environments. With the rifle, first, we want to make sure that we camouflage the rifle, and it's actually quite an easy process and cheap. You can just start with any white gauze. This is medical gauze, this Band-Aid brand here. This is one that sticks on itself, so it's easy to put onto a rifle, but you can use standard gauze as well. I think this costs $3. Very simple, very cheap. Start from the front, work your way back. Notice that we've only got to about the first half of the rifle. And you don't necessarily need to go any further than this, because as you wrap the rifle, you get back to the action. You don't want to interfere with the action, with the ejection, etc., because that can cause major problems. But also, when you're down in the prone position and you're operating, you have your overwhites on, and you're actually covering a lot of the rest of the rifle. Now, you can take some medical tape and attach it to various other locations on the rifle to add some more white camouflage, but that's up to you. Importantly, you want to make sure that at least this first part is covered. Now, on the scope and the optics itself, you'll notice that when we covered the optics, we covered a majority of the optical lens on this, or the objective lens, sorry. And the reason you do that is because in a snow environment, the amount of light that is reflected off that snow can actually cause somewhat of a snow blindness when you're looking through your scope, and it can wash out things. Additionally, it provides additional camouflage by covering up this big black circle that is out there in a white environment. And so that's kind of what you need to do to take care of your rifle and its camouflaging and operations inside of a snow environment. Now, for your own personal self, you need to also camouflage yourself. I have a couple of different overwhites on display here. This is the traditional military issue one. It's just solid white. You'll see a lot of people will take some gray colors and they'll spray paint a little bit of gray onto their whites. Not a bad idea, because it's not often that you're in a completely white environment. That's also why you will find patterns like this. This is like a ghost pattern, they call them. And you'll see where they put in a little bit of additional color, because there is brush and stuff that sticks up through most snow conditions. Now, these particular whites, the pants are made of a waterproof nylon material, which is somewhat important because as you're laying in the snow, the warmth of your body will heat up that snow and melt it. And as your body gets soaked, if it does melt and you become wet, that's when you start to run into some dangerous conditions where you might get frostbite or other hypothermia type of scenarios. The top part is a very, very oversized overwhites that's made to fit over all of your gear, provide the camouflage that you need. Very baggy so that it flows much like a ghillie suit, so that the camouflage is very effective. Now, for tips to be able to stay warm in a cold environment, the one important critical thing is your feet. When they get wet, you're done, because a lot of that heat in your body is dissipated through your feet. So you want to make sure your feet stay dry. Something like these sealskin waterproof socks will help tremendously. Good boots are, you can't put enough value on a good pair of boots in wintertime conditions. Another little trick is you can take something like this Zippo hand warmer. Once you fill this up with typical Zippo lighter fluid, you light this thing, it'll actually stay heated for 14 to 16 hours. You just put it right back in there like this, stuff it in your pocket, provide some warmth. You can use it on your hands, you can use it on your feet. It's just another little trick. It's a little bit of snivel gear style, but it might keep you more comfortable. It might actually keep you alive or out of some frostbite conditions. In terms of camouflaging, I just wanted to take a minute to give you a couple of tips for operating in snow conditions. Lots of times when people go out there, they don't want to do the full overwhites if it's not a full whiteout condition, so they'll just take their parka and they'll throw that over the top of them. Well, when you put white on the top half, but yet leave green or another color on your bottom half, that's the opposite of what is naturally out there, because when you're in the snow, typically if you're standing there, the snow is on the ground and the trees are up high. So you'd actually want to use your white pants and then use your green top if you're going to split it up. If you're down in the prone position, you will obviously want to be all white. One other tip is when you're out in snow conditions, the whiteness of the snow, the light that's coming in from the sun, it actually amplifies the effect of shadows. So if you want to be effective and you want to remain concealed in snow environments, you learn to make use of those shadows. So get into a tree well or get in somewhere where there is a hard shadow, and then when you're in that shadow, you all but disappear. So those are just a couple of tips of staying concealed in a snow environment. Hopefully some of this stuff that we've shown you is also might provide a little bit of benefit and help to you when you are operating in wintertime conditions, especially when there's lots of snow. So thanks again.